We are Africans in America. Something new to the history of the world.
Hola, ¿cómo están? How are you guys?
Hey, muy bien. Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien. It's nice to see you again. The last time you came to Chicago, you were showing me a party of Roma on your cell phone. That was pretty cool.
I do remember that.
I wish it was in person, but this is great because, I just watched the show. It's amazing. I'm emotional. I'm shocked. So thank you for sharing it. It's a wonderful experience, a terrible experience, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. And I kept thinking, isn't it ironic that to try to take away someone's humanity, you have to be so inhumane? And also, I feel that as a Latino, I had a different experience watching the show because unfortunately, there are like so many parallels with our community. We have the underpaid farmers with horrible working conditions. We have people taking long, dangerous journeys to try to live better. And Barry, my question is, how do you want our community to watch the show? What do you want us to take away from it?
I think for me, it's the same thing I would ask, or I would want any community to take away from the show. I think for me, the reason for making it, or what I found in the process of making it, was this idea of recontextualizing my ancestors, seeing them for what they did, and honoring them in a certain way. And you're right, this history of slavery, is not just the history of America. I was watching yesterday. I posted this clip, the soccer clip of the Colombian team at the last World Cup. And James Rodriguez is a very white man, and then all these other cats on the team, there are all these black men, and yet they share a flag, they share a culture. There's a history there, and so I do think in telling the story about my ancestors and the history of slavery and how it's affected Black folks in America, I do think there are quite a few countries in South America, throughout South America, who can relate to that same history.
Next, free or runaway? I'm not sure.
So I just wanted to say that I love your portrayal of Cora. And I'm going to share something personal. She reminded me of my grandma because she crossed the border through tunnels, through the desert, through the river. She was even sent to jail when she was 60 for a month. And I want to ask you, what's your message to women that are still finding their strength and their voice? And how do you want to inspire them through Cora?
I think my message would be everything that you're feeling is valid. You need not run from it. That's such a beautiful question. You need not run from it because who you are and how you are in this life is no mistake. You're different, you're built different, and yes, our experiences can be very heavy, can be traumatizing, but the fact that you do rise above them shows and says a lot about you. But more than anything, like because of Cora teaches us that you cannot outrun your past, you cannot outrun the feelings, because we have this thing of where we dissociate or we numb ourselves or we harden ourselves, thinking that life is easier that way. And as Thuso as well, I can speak from experience that only holds you back. Don't be afraid to share your testimony. Don't be afraid to share your story, because that in itself is a breakthrough for you. It allows you to breathe, and it does create a positive change in your life.
You came all this way on the railroad?
Yeah. I left behind all those peoples.
And Barry, can I ask you, where we go, with everything that happened last year, how did you feel doing the show, creating the show, and seeing how it was related to what it was happening right now?
It didn't change anything that I did with the show. And actually, we were filming, and then in March, we had to stop filming because of COVID. And so we just started editing the show. We had filmed enough of it that we had enough to start editing. And at first I thought, I wish I could rewrite all this because of what's happening in the streets right now. I would reflect it all. And then as we started editing, I realized, oh no, it's already there. All of it's in there. Part of that is because these problems have been happening for so long. You talked about, people having to journey, taking these perilous journeys to enter the country to seek a better life. And it's almost as if we want to ignore why those things are happening, what the root cause of it is. And so for me, I'm making the show, and for 4 years, I hear "Make America Great Again, Make America Great Again." I hear the most powerful man in my country saying the most horrific thing about my people, about your people. And I realize that what we are doing, again, this idea of "Make America Great Again," we have to tell the truth about what America was and continues to be. I think that's the only way to take the power away from empty slogans like that. These slogans that seek to ignore or erase the truth about what's happening.
Mm-hmm. What's her name?
Thank you so much to both for doing such a beautiful show, and I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Thank you. You always ask tough-ass questions, Giovanni. The moment you came on, I was like, oh yeah, there go that cat. There go that cat in Chicago.
I can't wait for Lion King. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to ask tough questions about that one, but you'll find a way.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take care,
Giovanni.
Giovanni.